What is going on, everyone? My name is BoIt and I'm back with some more Age of Titans action. Spawning in the left of the map, playing in the blue color, playing Ra again is ArmyCore. His opponent today in the red color, playing ISIS, is Hells. Yet again, Hells did take the first game of this best of 3 series, so it's currently 1-0 for Hells. A really strongly played match by Hells, but again, the silly mistakes of ArmyCore. He must have kicked himself a little bit for that one. But we'll see if he can fix that error for this game. Perhaps try something a little bit different and take this game from Hells. The map is Alfheim, so this map is sometimes grants lots of fun, sometimes doesn't really. We do see a couple of Orok over here, so it's definitely not completely low hunt, but really there's actually 6 Orok on total, or is there more? I can't see the last set. There's the last set. No, that's the first set. No, yeah. There are 8 Orok on the map, so that's 4 each. So that's 800 food worth of food, 800 hunt worth of food each. So, in terms of what Hells can do, if he grabs map control and grabs that, what's it called, 1600 food there, then he's going to be in a good position to produce a elephant heavy army. Coupling with that, if ArmyCore can get the map control, grab that 1600 food worth of Orok, or at least some of that, it's going to allow him to produce some monuments early, produce some more cavalry than he would normally do, or some elephants of his own, produce some Sphinx, or get to that mythic age in a timely fashion, which is going to allow him to push him for a win. Again, I really like to see the Scarab play here. Unfortunately for Hells, the town centers are sort of separated here, so if he wants to secure this town center, then he's going to have to go up this town center. If he wants to secure this town center, then he's probably going to have to go up this one. However, if he chucks the Migdol in this location over here, if he scouts the map really well, then that's going to turtle ArmyCore into his base, and he's going to have access to both those town centers and the map control. Conversely, if ArmyCore decides to do something incredibly aggressive, which is not the meta, as I say, it's going to be something a little bit weird, then he's going to find himself with only the option of taking this town center instead of this one. This one's incredibly safe for Hells because there's nowhere that ArmyCore can control, which Hells can't then move somewhere else. If ArmyCore decides to control this region, then Hells can sneak in over here. Obviously, if Hells sneaks in over here, ArmyCore can shove in through this location. So a wall right there would be really nice in terms of preventing that from happening, and making sure that Hells can definitely secure at least one or the other. So in terms of the map layout at the moment, ArmyCore has got to feel a little bit behind, and that's a really cute play by Hells there, chucking that elk over. He was actually sending villagers over this Orok, but one of those that he was sending over, he chose to attack the elk. Efficiency is key, and he's definitely learnt from his mistakes in last game with those deer, gazelle, which he didn't quite gather from correctly. Looks like ArmyCore choosing to empower from the gold mine, which is a little bit odd considering he's got so many villagers on food. He's got 7 villagers here. Normally you want to get your Pharaoh empowering the thing with the most resources on it so you can get the most out of it. It's generally more efficient to leave that on the food early and then transfer that to the gold, because gold income is faster than farms, and thus you gather more resources in total. But looks like he just wants to get that extra gold out so he can get that extra monument. He's chucking that early second town center up. So looks like he wants to chuck this one. It's actually the Wadjet Eye, which is a 10% negative price on the myth units. So actually going for Scarabs this game is better than not. Sometimes letting the relics dictate your play is poor because it's not good, but in this situation, getting out on Scarabs for only 270 food and 20 favor is going to be really nice for ArmyCore, and Hells is going to have to see this. As soon as he sees that negative 10% myth unit cost, he needs to say to himself that, okay, ArmyCore's got access to cheap myth units. I need to build priests. I need to make sure that I've got priests coming out, and either research that early upgrade, which allows this actually gives a range boost to his priest, and get the funeral rites, because that's just going to allow him to be safe. And in terms of this matchup, you have to say ISIS probably has the advantage because of Ancestors Eclipse, and as that's the case, being safe is better than risking stuff and saying, okay, that's going to be good. Looks like Hell's taking the initiative, walling off this location because he sees the town center over here, really wants to keep control of that. Doesn't really know about, does he know about, he hasn't seen ArmyCore's hunting operation going over to here, so he's just chucking that wall down just to be safe. Doesn't realize there's a gap over here, probably doesn't even realize that there's just that gap over there. And it looks like ArmyCore doesn't even know that there's a wall here. What could be super cute is if Hell's actually moved his villager through that wall and then around here to wall this off, and then forces ArmyCore to have to fight his way through that wall. It'd be incredibly strong, but unfortunately he didn't scout that out quite yet, and he's probably not going to be able to do that in time, and it's actually too late now. And Patar is getting resourced by Hells. Hells is actually going through Patar for ArmyCore. I need to speak properly. Patar is not even available for ISIS, so again, going to get that segment coming up. Does still have those 2 monuments, and he doesn't quite have the resources to get that segment upgrade, Shadoof. So he's going to have to wait for those 200 food. He doesn't have plow either. So 250, when I said 200 food, I meant 200 wood. So he's going to have to wait for 250 wood to start really taking advantage of those resources or whatever, those farms and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit later, but he is grabbing that second town center. He's going to have to really power farm that gold mine though, and he does have a really safe gold mine over here. So ArmyCore not feeling too worried. Got a double wall line over here, got a single wall line over here, and he's chucked up a wall over here. The Sphinx is currently trying to pick off through that wall, but ArmyCore's just going to send his Wadget over there to send that Sphinx away again. Every single myth unit has at least a 200% bonus for those other myth units, so he's actually going to be doing a bunch of damage to that Sphinx, and Hell reacts to that instantly after he gets attacked once, moves his Sphinx away and says, okay, I'll come back later when I need to. So ArmyCore, he's got the Shadoof up, he's almost got the 50, actually got the plow going. Does he have the husbandry? He does have husbandry, so everything going right for him in terms of his build at the moment. Got everything coming out. He's currently producing a bunch of farms, and again, that 7-minute mark is something that you kind of need to aim for. After the first game you saw Hell's playing, you saw his prosperity at that 7-minute mark. If I want to disrupt that, and that's a choice, you have to go, okay, he did this one game, maybe he's going to do it again. You can say, I'm going to try and aim for 7 minutes to have my farms up. And that's not something that's easy to do if you're trying to do this 2 town center strategy, but definitely possible. If you get that extra wood up instead, perhaps even buy hand axe, get a couple, maybe one more villager on the wood, get those Shadoof up early, and possibly even produce a little bit less villagers on the town center. Get that empowered by the priest. Just shift around your build a little bit in terms of doing that in order to get the rain up a little bit earlier, just to disrupt what Hells is doing and what you can do. It looks like Hells has actually got his second town center going, and he's actually snuck onto the farms of ArmyCore. So Hells has actually made a really nice adaptation to what ArmyCore's done. He's actually got probably more farms than what ArmyCore has, with 15 villages on food, and ArmyCore's only got 14. So Hell's actually getting a little bit more profit out of that rain than what ArmyCore does. That's a lie. ArmyCore gets a little bit more because he gets that extra 100% bonus on top of the I think he gets 300 bonus instead of the 200 which everyone else gets. Could be wrong. Have been before. Actually, I can't see. 120% labor farming rate and 80%, right? So you get 40% less farming, so you need to have 4 more villagers on farms to get the same amount as if ArmyCore had 10. So he's just getting not quite as much as ArmyCore, but definitely a good portion. And he is going to be going through Nephthys again. It actually doesn't. Wow, that's super boomy. Hell's just going, nah, I'm just going to produce villagers for a while. That's weird. I don't understand this. ArmyCore going through segment, got his two monuments up, but Hell's not even close. That's the weird thing. Like, Hell's isn't even close to the heroic age. I thought he would be like crazy close, or at least there. But he's going 25 villages on the food, getting out of barracks or 2. Maybe this is what he said. He's going, okay, ArmyCore going for Scarabs, I'm going to build classical units. That way Scarabs are kind of useless because their main primary focus with the Eclipse is to prevent the Migdol going up. So we're going to see if ArmyCore can see this and adapt, but I don't think he knows. I don't think he's going to know. But I think Hells is going to hit the pop cap really soon for those villagers because he's got 3 town centers on auto queue. And he sees those barracks going up. See the Citadel going down straight away for ArmyCore. Wants to get that extra 10 population out. He's got the he doesn't have Scarabs on auto queue, but he's currently building a Migdol inside his base, which is a little bit safe considering he hasn't seen Hells get to the heroic age just yet. Hells, on the other hand, still in the classical age producing slingers. So this is just a little bit odd. Getting that 3rd town center really does set you back, and I can't say I think it's a good idea, just because like in terms of tech, you're so far behind if you don't get to the classical age. I mean, the heroic age early to get that forward Migdol up. You give up the possibility of grabbing this middle town center, and basically you're going to be playing behind because your opponent's got a Citadel. But luckily for Hells, ISIS, so he does get that 169 population when he has fortified town centers compared to what ArmyCore's going to have. It's going to be 170, so it's just going to be down 1 population, which is only a villager or a camel caravan, so it's not like it's going to be all too much. But what Hells is going to have to be worried about is the potential mid-game power of the Bone Bow chariots, which is definitely going to be a thing that ArmyCore is going to research, if not already researched. If I check he doesn't quite have it yet. He can buy it, it's got 50 favor. And it looks like ArmyCore's not even contemplating getting those Scarabs out yet. He just goes, okay, I'm just going to grab this town center and play safe. I'm just going to get it. And if he can get a bunch of villages onto gold before Hells decides to move out, and that's going to allow him to produce mercenary to defend against some sort of forward push on that town center with the siege towers, which are kind of a little bit weak in terms of their ability to take out an Egyptian town center. You can see Hells now chucking down this extra wall. So this is a very aggressively boomy play, which is a bit of a weird statement to say considering how passive you have to play to boom. But he's playing aggressive in the fact that he's going, okay, 3 town centers, farming, using my prosperity to build farms, and then just producing a bunch of villages. He didn't get to grab onto those deer, which is probably why he said, okay, I don't really have anything for this, so deer it is. And the thing that he has to be worried about is these slingers are going to be useless against Bone Bow chariots, which have been researched for ArmyCore. And Hells has currently got Hands of the Pharaoh. He's got a couple of priests out because he knows that Scarabs are an option. The Migdol is going to be going down in this location over here because he's got a gold mine in the back, he's got a gold mine over here. Probably going to chuck that market up right away because he's been so boomy. You might even go straight to the Mythic Age. It's all a little bit odd. We can see this stone wall of Hells did not manage to get up, and I don't know, he might be going for a fast Titan or something like that, but if he does so, then the Scarabs are just going to run him over. But it looks like, does he have the market going up? It does have the market going up in the corner, so it looks like Hells is going to sit in the classical age just for a little bit. It's really quite odd watching this sort of play. It's so passive, but it's so aggressive just because you're saying, I'm going to do this, and you have to make your mind up. Are you going to do it as well? Which means you're going to be behind because you didn't have that early turn center like me, or you're going to start putting some pressure on me, and I'm going to react to that a little bit later. And if your aggressivity doesn't work, I'm going to be so far ahead of you in economy, it doesn't matter. You can see Elephant coming out for Hells now, and the Spearman going to be not going to be able to do a lot, but like, you see they're picking off villages from all the way out here, and he does manage to pick off one now for free. Gets out this Scarab, just going to be taking out this watchtower as fast as he can. Looks like there's a things coming in here. These priests currently do not have funeral light. There we go, funeral light has been researched, but again, these heavy chariots are going to be able to pick off these priests from afar, and you can actually see that they can attack villages from so far away, and that Scarab going to take a little bit of damage there. If we go back over to ArmyCore's perspective, he's got 80 favor, and he's got enough resources to go to the Mythic Age. You can see that Fortified Town Centers has been researched, Osiris has been researched. Hells, on the other hand, is going up. just chilling, getting fortified town centers himself. And he has to sort of react to this somehow, because ArmyCore can just pick off these slingers, and he can just retreat them like that, and then he's going to force Hells to move around. So this positioning that he's got right now is very difficult for Hells to push out on. ArmyCore's just sort of got his fist or his hand and just grasped on this game. Like, he's going, I don't understand how he could have made this decision based on watching the map, because it's a little bit odd. And it's sort of not a reactionary play. He's going, I'm going for a Scarab Rush, but he's made the reactionary play of going, okay, I'm not going for a Scarab Rush, I'm actually going to go for a semi-fast heroic with Bonebow Chariots, and then he can just continually micro back his chariots. Look, he's lost one, or he's about to lose two, or something like that, and he's going to force the Ancestors Eclipse to push out of his base. There's a Migdol in his face, and ArmyCore almost in the heroic mythic age, so these slings are going to be worthless against the Son of Osiris. He's just going to pretty much two-hit all of them. He just has to be worried about not taking too much damage from those. Hells also doesn't have any siege weapons out, and he's going to have to move those out in order to do too much. Actually, wow, we've got a bunch of heavy elephants over here, which I completely missed. That's extremely good. He's going to be able to strip this town center down. We're just going to force this mythic age to not go through, which is going to be terrible for ArmyCore. ArmyCore should have his villagers out here and repair this town center as fast as he can. If he loses this location and loses this gold mine at the back only with 410 gold, going to have to move it to this location with the obelisk already grasped. I don't think that ArmyCore is going to be too well off here. He's going to lose this middle town center. He's going to have to defend with Bonebow Chariots, with the slingers in a really nice position now. And ArmyCore is going to be struggling a little bit here. He's in struggle town. Hells, on the other hand, he's got a bunch of resources now. He can go to the mythic age. He can put his grasp on this location over here with a catapult or two, and he can continue pushing with these heavy elephants. Those have all of their classical upgrades to ArmyCore's, all of those classical upgrades for him as well. So both players have got everything coming out for them, but the difference is that ArmyCore doesn't really have anything going for him. He's got 1,000 resources in everything, but he's only got one production building. Probably should chuck down a couple of barracks now just to get out some spearmen. Probably could have transferred his build, his order, or his not his build order, his heroic path to Hathor. Spent all of that favor on Hathor spearmen, not Hathor, Horus spearmen, and then made those elephants null and void. The fully upgraded Hathor spearmen is so strong, and we can probably see that Hell's. Oh, nice shifting sands right there. You're getting his army out there just to prevent this town center from going up. He really did not want to lose that town center, but he's probably going to lose all of these chariots, because elephants are actually the counter to chariots, as hard as it is to believe, because they can move so fast. If you micro them well enough with chariots, you're going to be able to eventually kill the elephant. But the fact is, this town center is going up, and there's not much you can do to stop it. And Hells is doing some nice micro there just to keep the Pharaoh alive. But ArmyCore going to be hitting the heroic, the mythic age now. Going to be able to get out a couple of those, what do you call it, catapults. If he chucks up one of those siege workshops. So ArmyCore's got 2,000 gold to play with here. The siege workshop going up right next to his Migdol, and ArmyCore's Migdol could be able to pick up a couple of those elephants as well. He's got the mummies on auto queue, because elephants are the main army unit of Hell. So Hell is going to have to be able to think of something else here. I don't think that heavy elephant is going to be a good idea. Maybe produce something a little bit cheaper and a little bit less inefficient, just because mummies can do so well against them. And if he micros them, which it looks like he's doing, he can be able to pick up another one of those mummies. If he picks up that one, it'd be really, really good. It looks like he has chosen to pick off the one with full HP instead of the one with only dead HP. It's actually on 1 HP. Such a useless elephant. If you got a 1 HP elephant, unless you're going to heal it up, it's useless. You can see ArmyCore now moving his villagers over to this location here. He really needs to wall that in because of all the obelisks over here. But it doesn't look like Hells has got the chariots to send over to deal with that. He's actually got a couple of elephants heading over that way, but I don't think they're going to go all the way. And these villagers now coming out going to be able to take out that Migdol, at least try to. The Son of Osiris, on the other hand, is able to pick off all of the pierce damage units, which Hells has got, especially those slingers. The champion chariots now coming out here. And again, a wall over here would be really nice in order to stop Hells from doing any raids. The Migdal Stronghold putting up a little bit of a fight here. It looks like a catapult coming in now, going to be able to deal a ton of damage to that Migdal Stronghold. It looks like he's getting a little bit out of position. He doesn't need to move that far forward with those mercenary cavalry coming in. He was actually choosing to take out the fortified town center, which is a little bit of a mistake in my opinion. Meteor now going down, going to be hitting that son of a such, actually going for the... I don't know why he would have clicked it there. It would have been much better to click it right on top of that son of Osiris. Still a bunch of damage to him. It looks like the son of Osiris' move is actually only on 13 HP, getting picked off right there. ArmyCore's chariots really sort of outnumbering Hells at the moment. Hells sitting at 160 pop of 192. ArmyCore sitting at 114 pop of 120. So ArmyCore really needs to get some more houses out as well, because he's actually struggling on that street, because he's got a couple of those houses falling there to Hells' Meteor. And it looks like a couple of those slingers now coming in over here, just to be a little bit of a nuisance to those labourers. So that's going to be quite nice for him. The Phoenix now coming in here is going to get picked off instantly to those priests and the champion chariot. The catapult now coming in to pick off Hells' fortified town center. And now what you have to do is say, okay, I'm going to say you can have that town center, but I'm going to grab it later. I'm going to beat you back later. You can always say, okay, I've lost this battle. You don't have to keep fighting it. You never have to keep fighting it. This is an especially important lesson to take when you consider it in different matchups. I've had games where I lose my forward base as Norse, but because I put against Egyptian, who do a classical fight, but because I made that forward base, I have to spend a bunch of time picking that off, and they got 115 of 115 population spent in units, not building villages, and I don't, so I can produce some economy, get back in the game like that, and then win with a heroic age push, which they're not going to be able to do anything with those classical units because they can't really do anything. Anyway, back to the game. ArmyCore is pushing in here, and what Hells needs to do, and I think he might be doing it, is simply stop wasting units. He's got a really nice trade route, but he doesn't have a nice production facility. He's only got the one Migdol needs, well, actually the one Migdol producing. He did have like enough resources to build what's it called, Valley of the King, but I don't know if he's going to actually do that. If he does, then that's going to be really good for him, because he was focusing on building Elephant, but yeah, so we'll see if he does continue along that path. ArmyCore grabbing this settlement now, so the ball is currently in Hells' park here. Is he going to continue wasting units? Is he going to continue building Slinger, which as soon as I see my opponent get Bone Bow, I go, okay, Slinger are useless. Because that's, instead of it's only 4 range you have to run into the champion chariot, it's now 8 range. And they can just go, okay, time to run away. It looks like Hells is just going to pick off those chariot. Actually, he's not quite going to get there because those chariot deal so much damage, and they're so strong. You can see the upgrades for ArmyCore doing really well. These elephant are going to do nothing. There are 3 mummies here. 3 mummies. This plan was a great plan, but Osiris, man, you've seen that this is something you need to also take into account. How many myth units has your opponent made? He's had a monument up for the entire game, so that's going to be a big issue. So I don't think Hells realised that mummies were an option, and building these royal elephants weren't the smartest. So he's going to send his Pharaoh in here. He's actually going to be able to 4 hit that mummy. So that's actually incredible. I didn't realise how strong Pharaohs were. It's actually got 20 pierce damage and 20 times 400. 400%. So that's like 80 damage, I think, each shot. Maybe a bit more. I don't know my math. Don't hate me. It looks like Hells is actually going to fall here because of this push with the mummies and the priests and the catapult. And for some reason, Hells' economy is really struggling. He's got no gold again. Same situation as what ArmyCore was in last game, except Hells doesn't really have anywhere to go because he lost the map control and didn't play to get it back. He played to try and get the town center back instead of thinking, I need a gold mine. But again, he's got all of this trade routes, so maybe if he sent a Pharaoh over there to empower that, that would have been a really smart move. Hell's finally starting to get his population back into gear. And unfortunately for Hells, losing those 2 catapults going to prevent him from grabbing this location here. The mummy of ArmyCore, picking off those elephant one by one. Probably should re-micro that mummy onto that elephant, but he's got 2 mummies here, so it's actually Nice enough timing there so that he can get both of those killed, and it'll be good for him. Hell's losing another Migdol there. This Migdol probably gonna get up, but not gonna stay up for too long. 3 catapults on that. It's really, really strong. ArmyCore got enough resources to get the, what's it called? I don't actually know what the upgrade's called. Quickly check it. I don't know. I was gonna say, but the upgrade which makes siege catapults do more. And it looks like Hell's tapping out there. ArmyCore played well, but I think this is the same issue as last game, where they didn't realize, they didn't plan ahead. They didn't go, okay, my gold mine's only going to last till X minute. If your medium gold mine at your start base finishes at 10 minutes, you have to know that I need to be able to get a second gold mine at 10 minutes. How am I going to do that? You can't say, oh, it's 10 minutes and my gold mine's gone. Shit, I don't have any army to go get that second gold mine and now I'm gold starved. You can't do that. That doesn't work. It's the same concept here. If you've got this second gold mine or this third gold mine out here, you have to know it's only going to be there for 5 minutes if you've got 25 villagers mining from it. I don't actually know the exact stat, but that's something you have to keep in the back of your mind. You have to say, is my trade route going to be enough? In this circumstance, yes, it's enough if you put your pharaoh onto it, but he didn't put his pharaoh onto it, and he wasn't able to continue the spam that he wanted to do with those heavy elephants. Heavy elephants are so expensive, and what he really kind of needed to do in terms of keeping this game in the bag as he sort of had it was say, okay, that location is to stop. I need to get this location. If I walled in this location, he would have won. It's as simple as that. Having a wall there, and he would have prevented anything happening. Granted, ArmyCore blunder, getting that Mythic Age from his Ford Town Center, losing that to a really nice surprise push with War Elephant. Sorry, Heavy Elephant and a Siege Tower or two. And that's just set back ArmyCore. He still had 2,000 resources in the bank when he lost this gold mine, so he did have resources to play with. When Hell's lost this location, again, say, okay, that location is gone for the moment. Like, there's always a way to come back, and instead of wasting units and wasting time, you go grab that moment when it comes. Anyways, my name is BoIt. Currently 1-1 in this best of 3 series. Please stay tuned for the next game, and I'll catch you guys later.